Welcome to Carnival Confidential. For the next 6 weeks, we're going to be here bringing you all the glitz, the glamour and the action both on and off the tracks over the Sydney BMW Carnival. It's building to something very special. Always need a co-driver when you're going to do a show for 6 weeks, and the man who's going to be co-driving this ship with me, well, he's ridden all the 4 majors, the Golden Slipper, the Caulfield Cup, the Cox Plate and the Melbourne Cup, and if you throw in number 5 being the AJC Australian Derby, you've got him. Jimmy Cassidy joins me. Jimbo, Sydney Confidential, Sydney Carnival in the autumn. It's special.
Yeah, look, it's shaping up to be something very special, Rich. We've got all the big players, the big trainers, all the interstate jockeys coming. We've got all the horses from Haylist to Black Caviar, More Joyous, Piero. I mean to say, it's going to be one magnificent 6 weeks of racing. We're
going to look at the action from the previous week as we look forward. We're going to look at the races coming up in the weekend, and we're going to try and find a winner for the punters. But more importantly, we're going to tell everyone what's happening at Rosehill and Randwick over the next 6 weeks. 3 weeks at Rosehill, 3 weeks at Randwick. The buzz at Rosehill, of course, culminates in the Tui's new Golden Slipper. And then Randwick, I think, is going to bring something special in 2013 as it reopens. Yeah, my word. And with the new grandstand, everything happening there, I mean to say, we've got the Doncaster, the Derby, we've got Black Caviar. It's going to be exciting. I mean to say, if you want to be part of something exciting, you just got to be there over the carnival to see it live. Now, during the week, we're going to show this a little bit later in the show. You're out and about, a little kooky segment we're going to have later in the show. You enjoyed it? Yeah, look, it's been great. To meet a few of the celebrities that you will see shortly, it's been great, and I've enjoyed it. Bit of fun. And now listen, I know you're the big man in the jockeys room, but we've got a special guest joining us later as well, who's not in your jockeys room, but in the jockeys room. She is in the jockeys room. We won't let the cat out of the bag yet. Terrific person, great to be around, and you'll see a bit more of her shortly. Righto, Jimbo, let's have a look back at last Saturday. We're at Warwick Farm, and of course it was the first Group 1 of the season for the autumn of the 3-year-olds. It was the Royal Randwick Guineas. Jim, you know plenty about Kiwis. This horse, it's a done deal. He's met Price here twice now in Sydney, and he's got the better of him in the Spring Champion and now in the Randwick Guineas. I thought he was dominant. I thought he was very dominant. He beat him at he beat him last year, and then he's come back. He was obviously a failure in the Derby in Melbourne, but to come back and win the Randwick Guineas the way he did, blinkers went on, he posied up a bit closer, but I like the way that he really let down, you know, when James asked him after he straightened. And look, the 2 very exciting 3-year-olds, they're probably going to clash again later. And obviously it's a done deal going to the Derby. Obviously a question mark whether he's going to run the true 1.5 miles, but we're going to see that. Well, there's a few questions to ask out of the Derby. The debate is, it's a done deal. Is he a 1,600 to a 2,000 metre horse? Or will he go to the Derby? Let's have a look where a few of the horses out of the Royal Randwick Guineas from last week will go. It's a done deal. They'll go to the Rosehill Guineas next. I assume Prasia goes the same path. Sacred Falls had no luck whatsoever. And then you got the Peter Snowden pair, Proverb and Solemn. I suppose the question is, Rebel Dane, did he see the mile out? Is he immature? Is he not ready for a mile? And Furlax, what was the question mark about the Australian Guineas form? Look, I think obviously the 3 to look at are the 3 on top. It's a done deal, Prasia and Sacred Falls. He's the sleeper at the moment. He's had the 2 runs in Australia. He's settled in at Waller's. He's the sleeper. He's the one to watch going into the Derby. If there's a question mark on it's a done deal and obviously Prasia, he may even go to the Doncaster. The 3-year-old, we don't know that yet. The one thing is, in a Doncaster, there's 15 chances. In a Derby, there's usually a couple. Yep. And I reckon in the next week or so, the Rosehill Guineas will tell us where they'll go and whether Price here might be freshened up for a tilt at the Doncaster. Yep. Let's have a look at one of the other races last Saturday. And this was the highlight for me, Pumper, just to see this horse back on the track. He's in the red hat back along the inside. His name was Haylist. He was beaten by Stinsaland, but geez, it was great to see him back. Oh, look, magnificent. And what a job Johnny McNair's done. He's been out on the canvas, what, 5 or 6 times, Haylist, and he's got him back. It was just great to see him back. Obviously, it was Snitzelland. She was explosive. When Brownie let her run, she put a gap in him. But I'd look at Haylist when he come back in. He was blowing as much as you do when you've gone for a little walk, Rich, and he's the big improver. He certainly is a big improver. Unfortunately, he may well run into a horse. Black Caviar. Black Caviar. Well, most of us have only seen her behind. Not many of us have seen her ears, bar Luke Nolan. So in saying that, you know, we've got Haylist obviously going to attack her in the TJ, and hopefully my mare, Sea Siren, comes through the Galaxy winning there before she gets the chance to have a crack at the champion Black Mare. Well, let's have a look where a few of those horses might head coming out of last weekend's Challenge Stakes, and Jimmy spoke about the Galaxy, and no doubt a few will go there. Decision Time, who was great after 500 days off. Clary Connors has done a wonderful wonderful job. How Much Do You Love Me looked like the run was going to help. Tiger Tease, another. Blinkers were off and it looked underdone. Temple of Boom and Miss Onassis, who had won the Oakley Plate at its previous start, would be better suited in the Galaxy. And then the TJ. It's building to another great race. Schnitzerland, more than likely heading there along with Haylist. And it'd be wonderful if we get Black Caviar up alongside. Won't it be something special? Rightio, of course, it is building to some great racing, but let's have a look at the two-year-olds, Jim, from last week quickly. I reckon every Monday morning we sit down and analyse the two-year-old races the week before. The picture becomes more murky. What did we make last Saturday? All the talk out in front was just too dominant in winning.
Yeah, look, he just jumped and got running. It was a good dominant win. It's been well documented that he does have a breathing problem. Is he going to be good enough to do that in the slipper? Only time will tell. At this stage, my opinion, I don't think so.
Well, it's usually the girls have got the better of the fillies, but last Saturday we saw the boys run quicker time than the girls. Let's have a look at the Sweet Embrace. Now, you're on the leader here, Jimmy, and I thought coming the turn, with the favourite of Sail in trouble, there was no betting. Calming Influence, she looked disappointing.
Yeah, she was very disappointing, Rich. Look, she got cheap sectionals in front, but I think once they had a look at her, she's on the way down, and I think Chris will spell her, and she'll come back a nicer three-year-old. This filly of John's, she won first up at the Provincials, then she come to town and disappointed on the very heavy track. I don't know if she's good enough to win the slipper. She's trained by John O'Shea. She's obviously, I think, got to go up a notch yet.
It's another big notch, I think, from last Saturday. I don't believe we saw the slipper winner last Saturday.
Definitely
Let's have a look at the order of entry for the richest two-year-old race in the world, the Tui's new Golden Slipper. We've got Sweet Idea. Well, you know plenty about her, Jim. That's your ride in the Golden Slipper on top. All the talk, Romantic Moon. Miracle's Life won't be coming. Criterion, of course, winning the Black Opal. Kurashio, Fast and Rocking, Guelph, Whiskey All Round. We see a few of those this weekend. We get to see Villaverde this weekend, Metastasio, Whittington, of course, for Gay Waterhouse. Rude Awakening, Never Can Tell this weekend with the blinkers on. We get to see a lot of those. We get to see the raging favourite, Jim, Overreach. What about your girl, Sweet Idea, just quickly? And Overreach, you do a lot of riding at Gays.
Sweet Idea I've seen during the week. She's going to trial this coming Friday, and then she'll go straight to the slipper. Overreach, I've seen her this week. She looks outstanding. She's really, she's blooming in the coat. We're going to see the slipper favourite on Saturday, and that'll tell us where we're going.
It certainly will. Well, Jim, can you cast your mind back a week? You told me it was the best carnival launch we ever had here in Sydney.
Yep.
You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it. It was a great day. I was out there dressed in my silks, met a lot of people. It was a really, really fun day. I enjoyed it.
There's still an inquiry going on because the Moet and Chandon, you saw the big, beautiful gold-plated goblets. I know you asked permission to take a couple, but there's a dozen missing.
I know, and there's a few little people under suspicion there.
I think you said the right word there, little. Rightio, Frank Coletta, our man for the Carnival Confidential, was out and about, and this is the package he put together.
Now, firstly, Richie Callender's watching this. He's on the lounge on the other side of the camera. If you've got one message for him during the carnival, what he shouldn't be doing to you, what is it?
Wear a hat. He must wear a hat like I do, because I see he's had a skin cancer removed. Very important, he wears a hat. Do you hear that, Richard?
You listen, okay? You've been told. Now, what excites you about this time of year?
It excites me because it's the time when the really good horses and come out to hatch, so to speak, especially with the two-year-olds, because a lot of the two-year-olds may not have been seen till this last few weeks. A horse like Whittington, he did race before December. He's come out again, and he's really, the way the Star Thoroughbred horse is going ahead is unbelievable.
Frank, it's a really important carnival for us. We had a carnival that was independently described as the best carnival in 20 years last year. This year we're bringing online the first part of the new Randwick development, and we're trying to build that momentum to make Sydney racing stronger. So it's really important for us to capitalise on the success of last year and then leverage the amazing new facilities at Randwick for the future. We'd really love to see Black Caviar in Sydney. She's Australia's darling, and you know, we'd really like to celebrate the opening of Randwick, even though it's in a limited way, with that superstar on our stage. And we're really working hard behind the scenes on that. We think it'll happen, so let's cross our fingers it does. And if it doesn't, there's such a good support card. You know, horses like Piero, More Joyous, All Too Hard. And if we can get those horses all to our carnival, we'll be delighted.
Well, we like to bring you the celebs, the tricks, the news, everything behind the scenes Carnival Confidential. I can tell you Spinner, 4-year-old, is out. Look at this. He's a one-trick pony. That's the one he does, Brooke, isn't it? So he's learning. He's only a 4-year-old, and this is his debut, right?
Yeah, this is his first time being at a media event, and he's really well behaved, and he's handling everything really well, so I'm really proud of him.
A lot of people are absolutely flabbergasted by the fact that the Clarks at the course and their horses are so serene, so relaxed, and the job they do is just fantastic.
Yeah, we've actually started using Australian stock horses with the ATC now because they have such a wonderful temperament, especially this horse and his older brother that we use as well. They really do manage to keep their cool and keep the racehorses comfortable and relaxed on race day, which is really what's important.
Can you pinpoint one day where you'd say, during the BMW Sydney Carnival, I want to be there?
All of them, and that's the truth. But look, probably the day Black Caviar runs, and that's the TJ Smith at the moment, which is on Derby Day. It's been a while since she's been in Sydney, a couple of years, and she's done a fair bit since then, and she was a superstar when she was here last time, but now she's an iconic figure. I feel like it's like Farlap coming to town, and I don't say that lightly. So, look, if you pinned me to the wall and said you can only have one of the 6, I'd go Derby Day. It's a great race in its own right, obviously, with all that history, but because of Black Caviar.
Tooheys New Golden Slipper Day will feature many great things, particularly the big 2-year-old classic, but also the anthem to be sung by the X Factor winner, Samantha Jade, who joins us now on the Carnival Confidential couch. Now, don't take that the wrong way. Samantha, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you're also an ambassador this year, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
And what does that entail?
Well, basically I'm singing the anthem, that's one of the big things. Attending today, dressing well, you know, just attending everything, and I feel honoured. It's so exciting.
Now, this is dangerous territory when you walk in on someone who has actually played a gangster, but hey, I'm going to do it anyway. Roy Billings, I'm good, thank you. I'm going to make you an offer too good to refuse. You're on Carnival Confidential, and we'd like to have a chat. How's things here? You've got the goblet in hand. You're travelling well already.
These are great, aren't they? These little Moe goblets, they're great.
Yeah. So tell us about you and horse racing. I know we've seen you around the traps. I think you might have even been an ambassador for the ADC at one point.
Yeah. I still am, sort of unofficially. I do a lot of promotion for them and turn up at the races, and lots of people get mobile phone photos taken of me. Well, not me, it's Bob Trimboli, really.
Now, this weather can be very tricky for the young ones who don't know exactly what can happen on race day. What would you suggest?
I would suggest look your best, but be comfortable. You need to look your best at the end of the day. That's very important.
So what about that look where some of the girls have the high heels at the start of the day and then they end up in their hands and they've got, well, nothing on their feet, sometimes thongs. Is that a done thing?
No, that's a massive problem. We need to stamp that out as quickly as possible.
Well, we're back, and so are they. Doug May, the man from Tooheys New in hand. Well, it is. Welcome back.
Thanks very much, Frank, and let me tell you, it's great to be back. We've had our time on the sidelines, and it's great to be back for 2013.
If there was one 2-year-old that you'd be focusing on now with all the lead-ups that we've seen, we've gone through the Blue Diamond, the Silver Slipper, etc., is there one that excites you and said, OK, on Tooheys New Golden Slipper Day, that's the one I want to be on?
Very, very hard question, because there's a lot of good quality horses in there. I think at this point in time, I'm leaning towards jockeys. And he's here today, but my little mate, the pumper Jimmy, I think you can't overlook anything he's riding. And I do like Jimmy's mount, yes.
Doug May is the ultimate diplomat. The man sitting on the lounge with Richie Callender goes by the name of James Arthur Cassidy. There you go, pumper. He's pumping up your wheels. Good luck.
Jimmy, unfortunately for you, Dougie May hasn't backed a winner for 30 years. So I think you're in trouble.
I think he's a good judge, Rich. He mightn't have backed the winner, but he's going to find one next week. Sweet idea. It'll be a sweet day. He wasn't a
bad judge. He had a good sort alongside. But when you spoke about the people with the goblets, the mower, you weren't talking about the actor Roy Billing.
Not Mr. Trimboli, no. I was talking about little jockeys.
Yeah, you don't want to get those type of figures offside. Rightio, on the other side of this break, we're going to preview the big day this Saturday. It's Coolmore Classic Day, and our very special guest will be right alongside.
Sunline's in front. Nanny Maroon wide out, trying hard. Gentle Genius the centre. Sunline's going to have to call on all of her champion qualities, and she is. She's in front of Gentle Genius. Gentle Genius lunging. No! Sunline wins the Coolmore. Sunline from Gentle Genius. Nanny Maroon agile. A photo third from Maitland Gold.
I think Terry Bailey got it spot on. Champion qualities, and she was an out-and-out champion in Sunline, winning her second Coolmore Classic. Well, when you've got two roughheads like Jimbo and I on the show, you've got to bring a bit of glamour, a little bit of glitz onto the show. Would you please welcome our very special guest? She was the star 12 months ago, Kathy O'Hara. Welcome, Kath.
Thanks, Richie.
What about it is, I just said to Pumper, it's the Sydney BMW Carnival. Tell me what it is for you. What's so special about the Carnival for you?
I mean, I guess it's all the good horses. Group 1 racing, who doesn't like Group 1 racing? It's the best of the best, and it brings out the best spirit in everyone, really. Like, the owners get excited, and the jockeys are super competitive, and the horses are in top condition, and, you know, the racing's just great this time of the year.
Now, listen, I've always been a fan of Kathy, so I just want you to sit back, relax. I want you to enjoy this. Let's go back 12 months ago to the 2012 Coolmore Classic.
By Foxstar, of course I can, Jose, and Do Re Mi last, but Cassidy said catch me if you can, and steps in time led by 2 and Ladies Angel, who's dragging up behind it and running on, and then came Red Tracer, King's Rose, and of course I can's made up ground quickly. She's coming down the outside, steps in time in front, of course I can, and King's Rose and Secret Admirer. It's of course I can on the outside, Secret Admirer and King's Rose, of course I can. She's just in front, Secret Admirer going to it late, they hit it. Of course I can, has just won it from Secret Admirer and King's Rose. Then Jose, followed by...
I even gave it a cheer again, Kathy O'Hara, her first Group 1, of course I can. But I tell you what, the biggest smile was that you had that mug on the leader going too hard. Who set it up for you?
Look, she punched it out well. Just looking at that replay again, Rich, she looked fantastic, lifting it over the line to beat Brendan Abdullah there. But, yeah... That bloke on the leader probably went a little bit hard. They criticised me for that, but that's a year ago. What was it like, Kathy? That was the first Group 1, and it was the feature race.
Yeah, look, it was fantastic. I mean, it was such a weight off my shoulders. It's like something I'd set myself a goal to do for a long time, and you know, I got to the races, and I said before the races, I was like, this is my best chance going in a Group 1 race, and I genuinely thought that I could win. So, you know, it was a relief and a great feeling when I did.
Here it is now coming back into the enclosure there. I'm about to be alongside you. Go on, give it. There it is. We see the big pearly whites, the big smile, and for a great bloke in Ronnie Quinton as well.
Yeah, champion bloke, you know. I'm just so lucky that he stuck with me. I mean, I only got on at the start before in the Liverpool City Cup, won that race, and then won that race straight away afterwards. So, you know, it's just lucky I was in the right place at the right time.
If my memory serves me right, wasn't all the blokes were saying she was too hard to handle, you couldn't get on with her? You had no trouble?
She's a difficult mare, she definitely was, but Ronnie's done a great job with her. Well, he did a great job with her, and to get her there in the order that he did, and it was her first try at a mile, and, you know, she's come up on top, so, you know, it was fantastic.
Can you remember your first Group 1? You only ridden 94.
2 girls together. Well, it's great. Me and Kath have ridden 95 between us. So, but what was that feeling like going over the line, Kath, when you've won your first Group 1, you've beat the boys on the inside, you come the outside, that mug went too hard in front, and you've finally gone over the line and won your first Group 1?
I think it was just, to be honest, I think initially it was sheer relief. I just went, oh my God, thank God. That's the monkey off my back. I've done it now. So I can sort of enjoy anything that comes from here on in. And, you know, I was just lucky. Like I said, I was in the right place at the right time. The racing was run to suit, like not just that race, but on the day. I think everything was coming out wide. Manigal later on in the day came out wide and won. So, you know, everything just fell into place for me. It was just my day.
Right, now let's have a look at what's happening this Saturday at Rosehill Gardens. It's the first day of the Sydney BMW Carnival, and, of course, it's Coolmore Classic Day. Gates open at 10:45. I'll be there at 10:30 just to make sure I'm first through. General admission, $25. Now, there's plenty of fun to be had this Saturday. First 2,000 ladies through, you get a value of the Sally Hansen gift bag, $30. Free trackside lounge. You get pampered throughout the whole afternoon. Music right throughout the day. When I'm not on air, I'll be singing. 9 races. First race at 12:10. 1.8. I think it's about, what is it, 1 million or 1.8 million or something in prize money this Saturday, Ladies' Day Coolmore Classic. And, of course, Kathy, also on the day, people get the chance to win a Kathy O'Hara cap.
That's right, yeah. You know, it says, I think it says, I love Kathy O'Hara, whatever it is. So I'll be there early, and if people want their cap signed, well...
So all they've got to do is be in the crowd, and there'll be one that'll be signed, and we won't give it away, but there's going to be a magnificent prize if they get the hat that's signed by Kathy.
That's right.
And you've got one up on most of the other boys. You can actually sign your name. Let's have a look, of course, at the big field, the Group 1 this Saturday, the Coolmore Classic. I don't see Kathy's name there. Streamer, of course, comes off a disappointing run. Red Tracer, Barrier 1. Steps in time, Jimmy, the horse you rode last year. What's different this year? And she's drawn wide. She's got a bit more weight. Appearance, Dear Demi. Wow, the 3-year-old filly. I'm on Norzita's back. Third up this time in. I think this is her go. She was awesome last preparation, winning the flight. Flying Schnitzel, who got her measure. Can she come from last again? Jimmy, there's the field. Bonetta, who was disappointing. Glenn Boss takes over with no weight. Jimmy, Dear Demi, quickly.
Worked terrific Tuesday. Great win last start. Can't fault her, Rich. She's in it up to her ears.
Well, this is the one that you rode last year, Steps in Time. This was 1,400 metres a fortnight ago, Steps in Time. Warwick Farms, her track. Streamer was disappointing rail back. I can't see her turning the tables, nor Pear Tart. All the horse getting home out wide, Irish Dream. Can she win this year?
Look, she's up in the weights, Rich. She's drawn out. She's obviously going to roll forward. Other speed outside. Drew Fontaine, Gaze filly. If they get up there and annoy her, she ain't going to get it easy. One plus this time in, she's stronger and she's not racing as aggressive. But I hope she does both. I hope she races too hard. I hope she races aggressive. And Dear Demi come the outside and knock him out. Four Kilmores for Jimbo.
You've ridden 3?
Ridden 3, mate.
Shamika?
Shamika, Satin Sand for Maxi Lees and Flitter for Maxi Lees. So be nice to win one for Singo, Dear Demi.
It will be for Singo, of course, Dear Demi, the 3-year-old filly, of course, the Crown Oaks winner from last spring, heading on a path, of course, towards the ATC Australian Oaks. Now, what about the Canterbury Stakes? I think everyone was excited. We heard the week and a half ago that Piero was going to miss the Randwick Guineas to go to the Canterbury Stakes. Is it a 2-horse race? It's $2.60 each of 2, being More Joyce and Piero. Nash stays on More Joyce. The little fella, Pumper, gets on Piero. What about Moment of Change? Reign of Fair. He was the star of a season ago. Soul Sinitsyn, Midsummer Music. Let's have a look at Piero. Now, this was first up over 1,400 metres. He's out in the middle of the track. Was this the run of a horse that can beat More Joyce, Jimmy?
Look, I think it was a run of an outstanding, nearly a champion 3-year-old. He got up off the canvas. He had no blinkers on. He went to 1,400 first up on a very, very heavy track. Only good colts. I think only champion colts do what he's done. We've seen what he done as a 2-year-old. He took on the old horses in the Cox Plate. First up, 1,400, heavy track. Blinkers back on next week. She's picked the right race for him.
Kathy, which one are you on? I'm a More Joyous fan. I think she can beat him. I think she can beat the 3-year-old first up.
Yeah, look, I mean, Gaze horses, there's not a lot between them, but I think I might be in Moment of Change corner, to be honest.
Moment of Change.
Yeah.
I've got Moment of Change second pick. Jimbo, I got your third pick.
Good on you, Kath. I was going to get there and get one of them I Love You Kathy hats. I don't know about it now.
Let's have a look at the Riesling, of course, the 2-year-olds. And now this is definitely which corner are you in? We've got Overreach, the dominant $1.45 favourite this Saturday, and is the dominant $4 favourite for the Tui's New Golden Slipper, up against the only horse who's beaten it, and that's Villaverde. Sean Dwyer from Bendigo. Michael Rod suspended. He'll be back on in the slipper. Hugh Bowman gets the ride. Overreach and Villaverde. Jimmy, wow, this is special. $1.45 Overreach, Villaverde. Now, we go back to October last year. This is the Debutante Stakes. Now, that's coming off the back, the grey horse. This is Villaverde. Overreach, who's in front at the moment, has been on the wrong leg hanging the whole way.
Yeah, look, Rich, I'm going to stick with Overreach. She won at Rose Hill, as we know, in really dominating fashion. I've seen her at the track. She looks outstanding. I was a little bit worried when I heard Michael Rod say when they trialled her, they run at 1,000 metres. They only wanted to run 800. He said, I looked after her. She's got to come to Sydney. Run the other way round. I'm on Overreach, mate.
Most definitely. I think it's the most important. Overreach is in her backyard, and of course she was dominant, winning the by 5.8 lengths as she won the Silver Slipper. She's the one on target, and she's the dominant favourite. Let's have a look at the slipper market. The Tui's New Golden Slipper. Overreach 380. Every weekend, Kathy, I think the slipper market's got muddier. I think this weekend will determine which one of those top two will clear out.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, for sure. Like you say, 2-year-olds week to week. So I think you're absolutely spot on there. I think this weekend's going to tell the tale.
Are the girls the one to beat this year in the slipper?
Oh, most definitely.
I think they are too. Now, last year, of course, the horse to follow we had, now my memory was Permit, who, of course, went towards the Sydney Cup. I was going to get Dear Demi, but I didn't want to have Jimmy Big Note every week on the show. So I went for another horse going towards the AJC or ATC Australian Oaks. This is Windbender. This is her right out wide here in the red with the green. Now, Jimmy, I know if Dear Demi hadn't come back up, this was the filly you want to be on going towards the Oaks.
This filly. I've ridden her in a trial. She's a Redouts. The penny's only just starting to drop with her. Whether it's a touch too soon, but it's a filly that has progressed every time, and I really think she's got quality, Rich. Whether it's just a bit too soon, Dear Demi's already got the form on the board. She's flying. This filly's got to get there, but she could be one to watch over the carnival.
Rightio. Now, when we take a break, make sure you're watching on the other side of this break. Something little very special from my little mate alongside. And in the next break, in the next segment, we get to come back. We'll have a real good in-depth talk with Kathy O'Hara.
we are at Pumpers Barbecue. Today we've been lucky enough to be joined by Chris Lawrence from the West Tigers. Chris, welcome, mate. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me, mate. Look forward to the barbie.
Look forward to the barbie. You like your snags?
I do, mate, but I have to ease off them during the year, so only in the off-season.
Beautiful. Look, nice to come back with a win after your first up disappointment on Saturday.
Yeah, it was good to get a win. First round loss was pretty disappointing, pretty embarrassing for everyone, so it was important we got back on track and got a win. And it wasn't pretty, and we've got a lot of work, lot to work on, but it was a win nonetheless.
Outside your rugby league, when you get a chance to relax, you get to the races?
Yeah, try to get the races as much as possible. It's hard during the year, obviously, with playing on different days and playing. But when we get a Friday game, particularly during the carnival, I like to try and get out. Me and a few of the boys are into racing, so it's good to get out when we can.
Favourite jockey?
Favourite jockey, I'd have to say you, mate, definitely. You got me a few winners, so definitely you.
Beautiful. Any interest in racehorses? You ever been lucky enough or been bothered to be involved in a horse?
Yeah, got a few racehorses. A few of the boys got a few racehorses in together. We had a racehorse called Zelating. It's still running, I think. But a few years ago, got the first win, so that was pretty exciting, having first ever winner. And now we've got a few more that haven't run yet. But it's a bit of fun and it gets a bit of interest for the boys.
Like a punt, the boys like a punt. They all put the pool in together and have a big bet on a Saturday.
Yeah, they do. When we get a chance, yeah, it's good when we, as I said, have a Friday game, got the Saturday off to relax, go down the pub and just have a few dollars in together and have a punt. It's good when you can have a punt on your own horse too when it gets up.
Chris, when the boys get together to get a chance to go out to the races, do you follow a trainer? Do the boys follow colours? They follow a jockey? What are they all thinking when they get out there, being a different aspect from the rugby league back to the racing side of things?
Yeah, all different. Everyone's got their own theory. A few of the boys like to read the form, think they know everything about it, and then a few of the boys just go off the trainers. Some go off jockeys, some just pick blindly, and they're usually the ones that win the race. So it's a bit of everything, but there's a few tinny blokes in the team who always seem to win more than lose.
Who's the best punter out of the boys?
Oh, I'd have to say, well, you always hear about Benji's wins, so you don't know about the losses, but no, Benji seems to have a few wins. And Timmy Moulton can pick a roughie, so I don't know how he does it. I think he just goes by names or colours, but he can pick a roughie.
Have you got a favourite horse coming up over the carnival? Obviously, we've got More Joyous, we've got Piero, the big clash coming up this Saturday. We've got the Black Mare, Black Caviar coming to run in the TJ. From a jockey's perspective, it's a great carnival. You know, I think the quality of horses that we've got going throughout the carnival is going to be great. So, have you got a favourite?
Oh, I'd probably definitely have to say Black Caviar. It'd be good to get out and to watch her. I'm not sure if the schedule permits and whether we're playing on it that day, but you know, if we're definitely not playing football on that day, I think a few of the boys would definitely get out and watch her. And it's probably the last time we'll probably ever see her in Sydney, so it'd be good to get out and see her.
Here we've been talking with Chris Lawrence at Pumpers Barbecue. All the very best on Saturday, mate. You take on the Parramatta Eels. It's going to be a tough one. I'm sure you can rise to the occasion. All the very best. Good to see you, buddy.
Mate. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us on Pumpers Barbecue.
Yeah, Pumpers Barbecue in his own backyard too. Nice little view there from Pumpers Barbecue. Now, I love sausages. I love eating a lot of meat, but tell you what, even I'd pass on those sausages. What's doing?
Rich, I didn't organise the sausages. I'm going to organise next week when you see Pumpers Barbie next time. We might get a couple nice big Italian salami sausages on there, mate.
You like a barbecue, Kath?
Love a barbecue.
Love a barbecue?
Yep, definitely.
Nothing better, sit back there and Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc or beer?
Not fussy. Probably a wine, but not fussy.
Not fussy?
A nice bottle of crystal champagne or a nice bottle of Moe, Kath. Goes down nice well with the barbie, eh?
Yeah, that'll go down a treat.
I'm tipping Kathy will be drinking the sponsor's product, Moet and Shandon. Let's talk about Kathy O'Hara's career for a little while as we looked, of course, to Ladies' Day this weekend. And I'm going to show you this replay, Kathy. Tell me what was going through your mind here. This was, of course, the Group 1, the Epsom Handicap. Johann's Toy. Gee, she was an unlucky horse.
She was a super unlucky mare. She was, I was lucky enough. She had a really light.
That's her right out wide.
Really light weight in the Epsom this year, and Guy put me on. I was still 3 kilo claiming apprentice, and you know she ran second to a champion, so I was thrilled to pieces, you know.
She just kept on coming. I think it was a Desert War out in front.
Desert War.
He's just a superstar. He just keeps on going.
Toughest old horse.
Now you talk about Guy Walter. He has been one. You take him to war. He has been rock solid with Kathy all the way through.
Yeah, he most certainly has. You know, he's just been a big advocate for me, and his owners have been great too. They've all stuck solid, and I can't thank him enough for the way he's helped my career, and especially in Sydney, because you know when the rides get a bit thin, I know Guy's always going to be there putting me on his horses.
Is that a battle sometimes? Like the owners saying, oh...
Absolutely, yeah. Like, it's tough because you've got so many of the best jockeys in Sydney and, you know, when the fields are small and there's not a lot of reason for them to put a girl on over a bloke most of the time because a lot of people have got the mentality that horses will go better for a male jockey rather than a female jockey. But, you know, I'm lucky enough that I've got some people in my corner, like Jimmy. I know Jimmy's passed a couple of rides my way. He's got off rides and he said, look, this doesn't go for me, put Kathy on it, see how it goes.
Recapping on that, a filly, a mare of Joe Pride's.
Yeah, Michelin star.
I was riding this mare of Joe Pride's, a couple of runs I rode, and I said, look, Joe, she's not going for me. I said, put Kathy on her. I said, she'll run for Kathy, she'll keep her balanced, and I patted myself on the back because little Kath came out and won on her, so Joe was wrapped.
Yeah, and I've no doubt I'll eventually get Kathy there as a stable rider for the Chris Waller stable very, very shortly. Fingers crossed. Let's have a look at one of this horse, Kathy. Now, she was your little stable star, and at one stage she was the favourite for a Golden Slipper, Chance Buy. Did you really buy the silks?
I certainly did, yeah. Mick had the worst pair of silks ever, and I said, Mick, these are disgraceful. I said, I'll buy you a pair of silks. They were old and they had holes in them, and anyway, she was a tough little filly, you know. She wasn't very sound. Obviously, you can see by her action there. She was a crooked little thing, but she just tried her guts out.
Little tales like that, you on board, but a cheap filly, and
yeah.
Mickey there, Michael Tubman there,
struggling
with a
trainer,
cigarette
yeah.
in one hand, a rum in the other, and that was at about 3 in the afternoon.
Don't forget the Valium on top of that race day.
Oh, she was a bonny little filly, and yeah, she got you some great highlights. Now, we're heading towards a few of the feature races this autumn carnival, of course, the Sydney BMW Carnival, and one race is going to be the Oaks. You spoke about Dear Demi and Windbender. This might be a blowout, and I think one horse that you're associated with, Kathy, is Campania. Now, this is right out wide for Gary Fraser. This was an outstanding performance because they'd walked up in front.
Honestly, I give her no chance at the top of the straight to be able to run them down. I thought if she runs home into a place, this is going to be a really good run, you know, because she was a long way off them at the top of the straight and she just mowed them down. The furlong, I couldn't believe she kept coming, you know. And I said to Gary when I was coming back to scale, she just has an unbelievable, like, recovery rate. When she came back, she cleared a wind and pulled up like she wouldn't have blown a candle out. And I said, she's got a really good stride on her, and she's got the right sort of makeup for a staying filly. And you know, if he can get her to the Oaks, I think she's going to be definite knockout chance.
Well, I think that was the best result there, that she relaxed and we saw that she could hit the line. Now, listen, it's Ladies' Day this Saturday. People are going to go out there and get the Kathy O'Hara hats. Wherever there's Ladies' Day, there's one guarantee, and that means there's going to be double the blokes than there are for the girls.
Correct.
If the blokes are out there early, is there a chance that we could be finding like one of the 5 and with the big 6-pack that Kathy might latch onto?
I wish. You point them out for me and I'll come and find them.
Just quickly, Kathy, to finish up, you love obviously being a jockey.
Yeah, it's not even a job. I mean, I heard Glenn Schofield say that the other day, and he's absolutely right. I think it's a passion, and we're just lucky we get to be involved with animals, especially horses, because I just think they're just amazing creatures, you know. They trust you so much when you get on them, and they're 500 kilos. If they wanted to do what they wanted to do, then you'd be off and they'd do whatever they want. But they invest so much trust in you, and I just like the fact that you get a good bond with them, and, you know, put aside all of the betting and the whatever that you have involved with racing. It's just the actual relationship that you have with a horse is what I enjoy the most.
Well, Glenn Schofield, if he wasn't a jockey, he'd be a prison guard because he makes a prisoner of every dollar he gets. What do you think Kathy would be?
Kath, what would you be if you weren't a jockey?
I think I would try to get to the Olympics or something on a horse.
Kath, if I was your manager, I'd have you on the catwalk. You'd look great out there beside Megan Gale. You'd be in Milan somewhere. You've got the height, you've got the body.
I don't
so
quite
if you give up riding,
Jimmy.
anyone out there looking for someone on the catwalk, you got a beauty here, or see her at Rose Hill on Saturday.
You wouldn't be able to handle it, Kathy. They only earn about 30 or 40 million a year.
I think she'd handle it all right, Rich.
Thanks for being with us, Kathy, and best of very, very luck over the whole Sydney BMW Carnival.
Thanks, Richie.
All the very best, Kath.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Go
Same
hard.
to you.
I'll see you next week.
Sure will. You'll see us here, mate.
I'll see Jimmy. That's if he doesn't blow the studio up with his little barbecue. That's episode 1 of the Carnival Confidential. Make sure you get out there Saturday. It's Ladies' Day. It's Coolmore Classic Day. Get out there and get a Kathy O'Hara hat. We'll see you next week on Carnival Confidential.